To other news now, the Nigerian Port Authority is pursuing stronger collaboration with the private sector to grow the maritime industry. Managing Director of the NPA, Abubakar Dansuhu, gave insight to government's vision when he visited the Onne and Port Harcourt ports in River State. Our correspondent Uche Okoro reports.
Nigeria is hoping to take its place amongst the big players of the maritime sector in Africa. And the agency in charge of making that dream a reality says government cannot do it alone. They are in Onne Port to meet with some key private sector companies with interests in logistics, terminal operations, fertilizer and agro-allied production. The Port Authority's mission is to convince these stakeholders to increase their investments in the industry.
Nigeria, for us to improve capacity in ports and maritime industry, we need private sector investments. And where we are is a very good example of achieving that. This place was started like 5 years ago. It was a greenfield. Now you can see how activities are taking place here. You can see there are vessels here who have berthed, and it's a multi-purpose port terminal. So that is how to grow the maritime and port industry, by getting people from private sector to invest.
The NPA says Nigeria can become the biggest shipping hub in the continent with more involvement of the private sector. But this depends on how much the government is willing to invest in technology, equipment, capacity building and policy framework.
We can only do as much as we can to make the investors feel comfortable with Nigeria, to make them feel happy, so that we can attract more. Because the more we have, the better. You know, like I said, we have to deepen our capacity and expand our facilities in a way that we can get more and more cargo in Nigeria. Thereby, after satisfying the domestic needs, we can also do transshipment. Transshipment means that the cargoes will land in Nigeria. They are not going to be opened here. Then we take them to landlord countries like Chad, like Niger, and even other countries that do not have the kind of facilities that we have.
The NPA's long-term goal is to preside over a sector that can sustain the economy even better than oil and gas if this private-public partnership works out. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.